Today is September 10th, 2025. You would not believe today. My new husband, his thieving stepchildren, they're not his kids. Never adopted them. Second wife's kids. One of them was even 26 years old when he married their mother. Married with her own children. The one that yells, my daddy, demanding money. His son, Lester Bub, calls Bub, even told a judge today he beat his dad. But he was only 15. No, he was in his 20s. Beat him. My husband told that judge, I am so afraid of him that I soiled myself and I'm afraid he's going to kill me. You know what the judge said? They're family. They're your kids. They're not your kids. Stepkids stole all kinds of money. One is land. Told him that I'm a gold digger. The one that buys his clothes, pays his bill, help him pay some of the bills, paid to move us, bought the nice stuff in there. Did they buy him a Christmas gift? No. You know, in June when we met here at Bob Evans on 62, when they showed up because they brought one of the payments they hadn't paid since last November when he demanded it, when he called him a fucking tight bastard. Showed up, Deb wants more money. Carl said, I don't have it to give her. And Carl said after what she pulled, it made me cry. I said, yeah, that wasn't even funny what she did. Showing up demanding money, and is that all? And then screamed at him till he was in tears for days. And I had to hold him while he cried. This bullying stops. And you know, when we left, Carl said, I don't want them to know where we live because I don't want them to show up and bully me out of money again. They're not even his kids, his second wife's children. No relation, never adopted them. Dear God, part of them were grown. But they stole all kinds of money from him. Okay? They told that judge that this is how much they lied. I moved in with Carl in, what was it, April or May, maybe June of 24. Okay? Now, I had known Carl since 23 or 22. I even knew his late wife, and when she was really bad, he'd come out and ask me to hold him. And we became really good friends. And then it grown. We're 20 years apart. So is Bub and his girlfriend. So is Audrey and her husband, his daughter and her husband. 20 years at late in life, it's not that big a deal. Well, apparently my new husband and I will be moving out of Tuscarawas County because they changed their story 3 different times. Even Carl was calling him a liar while they were testifying. They're lying. They're lying. And Carl told me he didn't want them to know where we lived. He didn't want them to show up and bully him for money. He has a right not to be bullied. He don't have to talk to anybody he don't want to. He don't have to see anybody he doesn't want to. Right? Right. It's still the United States, right? Do you know I found out when we called the police? They told that deputy to do a well check. That's why she walked in and said, this place is clean. The only things there is where they're covered up watching TV covered up with blankets on the couch. And there's just some papers on the kitchen table to collect bills. My house is perfect all the time. All the time. Once a week we clean a clean house. Scrub the toilets. Sweep the house, Swiffer it. He runs a sweeper. Bed's made every morning. Bedding's changed every week and washed. Our clothing is done regularly. Nutritious, healthy food is made. When I moved in, he was eating noodles and honey buns, and his sugar was $3.50. His A1C was 9.9, and now it's 7.9, and his sugar averaged between 100 and 2 something. It dropped. He's got healthier. His doctors brag all over me. Even his attorney, Kathy Stoneman in Carrollton, I talked to her yesterday. I said, we actually have a really sweet marriage. She said, I know you do. She said, these people act like assholes. And there's no reason for it. Oh, even they told me not to even bother filing anything against his son Rick because that judge don't care. Don't care. He's threatening to kidnap me and Carl, take Carl out to Youngstown, make him be listed incompetent. Throw him in a nursing home. They're going to do it to me, and they don't know what they're going to do with me. They're going to steal everything me and him have. Do you know Bob's girlfriend Karen said Carl's truck that he was having so much trouble with, he got rid of, that he bought it for my son Dan and gave it to him. Never happened. That she's a gold digger. She walked over when my mom, that Brenda died in September 23, started living over there. No, I didn't. I didn't move in until 24. They lied and lied. They talked to my husband like he's subhuman. We'll have to move. They're insane. And see, that's where the police and the FBI, even investigators, we have those stepkids for that Deb for $4,000, pulling it out of him, that Lester for $6,000, and then calling them names and bullying them. Then why didn't you call down there and tell the judge? You're not just there to get drug dealers. And like Walter Moss, a criminal attorney in the place I talked to, my FBI case cannot close till I die. It's a threat and attempt at life case. Protected custody. So why didn't somebody call down there and talk to him? And see, this is where it burns my butt. They lied so much to that judge, they changed their story 3 different times. 3 different times. 3 different times. Do you know when that Deb came out from the judge, I guess she had all kinds of tears. My daddy. She was 26 years old. The one that took him for all that money. 26 years old. 26 years old. Cried rivers of tears for that judge. She walked out at me and looked at me and went, oh, they told my husband that was supposed to be a well check where that cop came in and the house was spotless. My house is always spotless. See, that's where you don't know what you're talking about. My house is always spotless. Always spotless. Do the dishes as soon as we get done eating or we're done cooking. And that thing, oh, you can stay married as long as you stay competent, and competent people are married all the time. Department of Disability. And the competent person is the guardian. As much as hawking bullshit as that judge let go through in that courtroom, even Annie's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. He admitted he beat my husband. He said he was a teenager. He was in his 20s. Oh, but he should be around him. That's his father. It's his stepfather. That he talks to him like he's subhuman. And he told him he was so scared of him that he would kill him, that he soiled himself. But it's the new woman's fault. You know, I was talking to his daughter, Desi. She said, it has nothing to do with you. We've had these problems ever since Brenda married him. Brenda brought this, their mother. And she was the one mean and horrible and abusing my dad. My dad is happy. He's healthy. They said, oh, she put her hooks into him by buying him nice things. I actually love Carl. He's my best friend. And he's my husband. They show up on my doorstep. I'm not answering. And I will be moving back to Stark County soon. This is hawking bullshit. And see, the FBI case, they have all the evidence in the world they drugged me. Videos of them doing it. They even have drug tests that came up with all kinds of drugs in my system. You want to play? And then them admitting they drugged me and told me to say it. Well, August 7th or 25th, the investigators working the case. Investigators working the case come in. They admitted they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. They admitted they drugged her and told her to say it, and even said what kind of drugs they used and that she has no memory. And they called Agent John a coward. Agent John? When are you going to get mad at these people? They made a public fool out of you June 7th, 23, even the Stark County Sheriffs. We all know they made fun of Agent John for falling for this. The whole thing's a mess. They even called you a coward August 5th, 25, and they've been talking about it from Sugar Creek to Canton to Summit Mall. They called you a coward. And they admitted they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged me and told me to say it before. And that I have no memory. I don't even know what these people are talking about. I never had anybody in my home. I would take a shower. I would go to bed, wake up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, severely infected, and thought the well water was killing me, or take a drink out of a Diet Coke after I washed my hands. And the same thing would happen, and I thought I was getting cancer and dying. Never seen or talked to anybody. And my family, repair guys, insulation guys, and 2 silly officers, August 8th of 18, midnight, came out for light in the security system. They told me it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They don't want bothered. And you know what makes me mad with that judge? She should have known that I was an FBI informant. Protected custody, and there was surveillance of these people threatening us. See, where was one of my guys? And then you got to think, I warned Judge Ludick, I warned the prosecutors off there and the police that these people were framing him. Judge Ludick, up there. They were framing him. Faith Family Church and all kinds of places that he was in it with some guy, some retired Judge Pete from up there, letting him get away with crimes. And it's just some guy named Pete. He lied on him. So trying to protect that judge, and then they try to frame the Portage County Sheriffs, let them know where they're telling people that it's them and they're impersonating them, harming people, letting them know people are using their names to get away with crimes, and harming people. That was kind and considerate. And as far as FBI, my brother died. My brother-in-law died. Craig Davis died working for the government. I always loved the FBI because he was a private consultant for the FBI, unrestricted, did war weapons, spyware, and worked under Dick Cheney and traveled the world. And he worked at the Pentagon. And his best friends were FBI headquarters. And I always loved the FBI. Looked at you guys like you were superheroes. That and officers as guardian angels. And the justice system being just. Maybe they're childish dreams. But I grew up loving the government. Strange hated the government. Told everybody one day you'll have to hide your guns in the ground in pipes. The government's evil. Preached his hatred towards the government over the pulpit. And I always loved it. That's how sick all this is. The whole thing is sick. And we have such a nice little place. We'll be moving because they know where we live. They're stepchildren. You don't have to let anybody in your life. You know that, right? You don't have to let them in your home. You don't have to talk to them. This is still the United States of America. United States of America. They just want his land. and the mineral rights. He tried to tell that judge in front of that bub that they only gave him that big $300,000 years ago, and they came and bullied it out of him, and he only got little things afterwards, and then they did a thing, and he still owes them 66 grand, the oil companies, and he called him a liar. And see, that's where Carl doesn't have. I'll tell you what, if I moved out, he couldn't afford that place by himself. He'd barely make it. Because he don't get his royal checks. And he don't get anything. Think about that. Random here or there from that other tiny one, about every 3 or 4 months. But the other one's making him pay back. And we finally got it down to 66 grand. There is no money. There was no big money. They lied that he bought Danny a truck, my son. He bought that I took all his money and all this. They took it all. And that's where Carl said, he even told that Debbie, you haven't even been down to look at your mother's grave. And we picked out the headstone. I don't look at the dead. They want his money. And since when can you tell a judge you're scared for your life against these people? They have beat you before and beat you bad, and the guy admits he beat you. And you tell him that you never want to see him again, and they make you say that they can show up. We don't have to answer the door. What are you going to do? Call a cop? Huh? You want to see the house is fine? We don't want to talk to them. We'll move out of Tuscarawas County and see where was the people from the case. I've had investigators. We got his family doing all this. Then do something with it. See, the case isn't just to get the drug cartel. They're trying to steal his land. And that bit, you can stay married as long as you're competent. And competent people stay married all the time. They get married. It's called a permanent disability. And the person that they're married to is their guardian. Like Kathy Stoneman said, his attorney, Karen, you'd be his guardian. I know that. Now let Carl be free and live his life free. See, does nobody believe that people that are being harassed, stalked? That Lester Blue, he is not Carl's son. He is his stepson that he talks to like a dog. And the FBI and police already know that. And you should already been talking to the Tuscarawas sheriffs. How dangerous he is around him. He probably will disappear one day. And they'll be lucky if they put him in a nursing home because they want that land. And where they told me, he's got millions of dollars. Half it. They took the 300 grand. They took a lot of it. They had taxes to pay and taxes to pay again. Has to feed that horse. See, that's where people think it's endless amount of money, and there's no money. Carl's actually in debt to the oil companies because they made a mistake. See, that's where this whole thing of them showing up, she bought him clothes to sweet talk him, to get her nails into him. Carl pursued me. Carl told all the neighbors he was in love with me. He thought I was beautiful. He started talking to me when Brenda was really bad. Asked me to hold him. Talk to him for a few minutes. We became friends, and it grew. And these people will not be allowed in my home. And I will be moving. And as if even Annie's like, I can't believe she's even dismissing any of this. Carl said, I never want him allowed around me again. I'm afraid for my life. And she said, at least not for 10 more days to reverse it. And he shows up. Am I going to let him in? No. Will I call the cops? Yes. We will be moving. This is ending. Because the whole thing of it is, you can't make somebody see somebody. You can't make them talk to someone. You can't make them be in somebody's life that they don't want them. This is still the United States of America, isn't it? The land of the free. I talked to his attorney yesterday, Kathy. Known her for over a year now. Or about a year now. I said, we have a really sweet marriage. She said, I know you do. And these people are assholes. 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 And Carl's already told me how bad they've robbed him. He even told her. And how bad they've treated him. And about them threatening his and your life. See, the police actually have that. So does FBI. But you didn't do anything with them. Why not? And see, the police they're supposed to be protecting me. They're supposed to be talking to each other. FBI case can't be closed. Even the prosecutor's office can't be closed. And you guys all know that I told on those people for impersonating the Portage County sheriffs and where you could find witnesses and another sheriff's department seen them. And impersonating a retired judge, framing a sitting judge. I told on them too, so that they would know what's going on and that they're being framed. And you think that they would join effort and protect the FBI informant that they're supported to be.